Hello and welcome back to the channel. Firstly, I'm sorry there hasn't been much content coming out over the last couple of weeks, but as you'll see throughout this video, we've been really busy doing a lot of traveling, lots of sightseeing, and having a great time really. Disaster struck at the start, just as we moved out of France, and it could have jeopardized the rest of our trip. Luckily, we've managed to get around it, but yeah, it as you'll find out later on, it could have risked everything. So look forward to the rest of this video and see what we've been up to. So as some of you know, we made the decision earlier on not to tell the children what we had planned for the summer, just to try and contain their excitement, and especially with Henry having a complete input overload. So at this point we had to then tell it to the children that instead of just being on holiday for a week in France, that we actually had a lot more planned for the summer.
Hey everybody, it's me, Henry.
And Darcy. So we've got some really exciting news for you.
Yeah.
So instead of just having a week in Carly
Yeah.
on this campsite in France,
Yeah.
we're going to spend the next 3 months travelling the whole of Europe. So we're going to go to 14 different countries in Carly, and we'll come back to England in September.
Yippee! That's the best!
I take it you like that news. Bless you. Is that exciting, Darcy?
Nay. I'm about to die of happiness.
We're going to take you through so many different countries. We're going to experience so many different cultures. We're going to see so many different things. Okay? And we're going to do it all from here. So when we leave on Wednesday, that's when we start our travelling through Europe.
So does that sound exciting, Darcy? Would you like to stay in Carly and go to lots more different countries?
For free.
Henry, you crying again.
Yeah, happy tears.
Wait.
As the next leg of the journey was quite a big one, we stopped off at a motorway air halfway down. First time we stayed in an air, really bad day to pick, really hot, can't really go outside and do much, just sat outside the services, just trying to cool off a bit. But after one of the hottest nights of our lives, obviously with no electricity, we had no aircon, we had minimal USB fans, we were using the inverter for the freezer, so we couldn't even use the big fan in the caravan, and because of the security of it being an motorway air, we can't leave all the windows open at night, so we had a hot night of sweating, but we made it through, and then continued our journey in the morning. We went down to a place called Chateau de Garde, just on the east side of Bordeaux. Really lovely region, renowned for its wine, and we both love our wine, so it's somewhere we always wanted to look at. The campsite itself is in a working active vineyard. It was, I think, at €15 a night, including electric hookup. Amazing little place. It's open field next to the vineyards, and there was several different groups of caravans and camper vans that have come across all the way across Europe. As we finished setting up, the owner came over and in his best English insisted that we join him with the other guests at his house at 7 p.m. for the wine tasting. Absolutely brilliant. It was free, it was all included, and he just wanted to explain how he makes his wines, what makes his wines different, and some of the awards that he's won for his local wines, as well as tasting 6 glasses of some of his best wines. It must have been good, because even Abby enjoyed their white wine, something she's not been a fan of before. She enjoys sweeter stuff like Prosecco, but not so much with some of the white wines that I enjoy, and also any of the others like white port or anything like that. She's does not been a fan of. But it's all cleverly thought out by himself, because after 6 or 7 glasses of wine, he then shows us the stuff he's got for sale, which you almost feel compelled to buy and enjoy full bottles of some of his fantastic local wines, including some a range he's made called Van Life, which we all thought was pretty apt, being drinking it on whilst in a camper van or caravan. So the next day we got up nice and early, as we had our big day to Bordeaux planned. Really lovely day, had some breakfast, enjoyed our coffees, and headed into the nearest town where we caught the tram. So it was on this tram where disaster actually struck. I've always been taught to be careful in big cities, especially as a foreigner. You're rife for pickpocketing, etc. So I took the precaution of wearing a bum bag into town. In that had the car keys, had my phone, had my wallet, had my vape pen, and some other bits and pieces. Had it underneath my t-shirt, with my baggy t-shirt hanging over the top. Thought, oh, it's as safe as you like, can't even notice it. I paid to get onto the tram for the 4 of us. I got my wallet out and tapped the tram tickets on to activate them on the once inside the carriage, and I put my wallet back in the zip pocket of my bum bag. Or so I thought. It was when we got off the tram, within 10 seconds, check if I've got everything. Where's my wallet? Wasn't in the bum bag. It wasn't in my pockets. Ran back onto the tram before it moved on. Wasn't where I was sat. At this point, the tram was really busy and people getting on and off all over the place. It wasn't anywhere I could have dropped it. Must have dropped it out or put it into what I thought was the zip, and it just fallen through onto the floor, but it wasn't there by the time I got out. So this is complete disaster. Inside my wallet was my driving license, my veteran's ID card, both my debit cards, 2 of my credit cards, and probably €25 in cash. Absolute nightmare. Very quickly, thank God for technology, using my phone, managed to freeze all of my cards within 3 or 4 minutes of my wallet disappearing. No one could, okay, someone's made €20 out of it. The heartbreaking bit for me is that they then will have just binned my wallet. If they've tried any of the cards and it didn't work, they would have just binned it. For me, the hassle of now having to request a new driving license, request a new veterans card. Luckily, we don't put all our eggs in one basket, so I've got other cards for other accounts back in the caravan in the safe. And using the apps when I'm reporting the cards missing or stolen, they're renewing cards, and off the app I'm then able to add those new cards to the Google Wallet and use them straight away on my phone. So crisis averted. It could have been catastrophic if we couldn't get any access to money. We wouldn't have been able to carry on. We'd have to come home. But luckily, using technology, and thank God my phone was still in my bum bag, we managed to carry on the trip. I'm since now not allowed access to the wallet, so Abs is taking control over that one, so I can't be held responsible if it happens again. But touch wood, we managed to crack through. So for context, the day was well into the high 30s, low 40s, huge amount of humidity, really horrible day for all of this to happen. and in complete panic and trying of what we can do next, we found an Irish bar called Sweeney Todd's. Can't recommend it enough in Bordeaux. Place is amazing. The lady behind the bar was perfect English, just calmed everything down and provided us with refreshments and talked things through what we should see in Bordeaux. At this point, we then like, okay, we have got these other cards back in the safe. We can get through this. We'll transfer money from one to another and get through it. So huge shout out to the staff of Sweeney Todd's amazing bar. So she recommended to us that we head north along the west side of the river, because the last leg of the Tour de France was coming into Bordeaux that day, before it starts its next leg. She said that there's loads of people around, there's loads of teams, merchandise, freebies, and it would be great to take the kids up there, as well as they've got a reflective pool, which is a great opportunity for everyone to cool down. So that's exactly where we headed. Went up through the crowds, followed all the big screens and all the paving where they blocked it off, and found this amazing reflective pool where we all had a splash and just cooled off. It took a minute to just refresh ourselves. We stopped for some amazing lunch. Kids had pizza. We had some salad with chicken and all sorts. It was really good. The food in the town. There was restaurants that catered for every taste going. And then after a very frustrating, hot, sweaty day, we managed to catch the tram back and thought we'd make an afternoon of it, back in the campsite and just put everything to rest. So you can see we're all rocking our new hats that the teams had given out. But that evening, just as the temperature felt like it couldn't get any worse, it started getting really humid and muggy, and then you could smell it in the air. The sky went black, and a huge thunderstorm that went on for about 2 hours all the way around us carried on. Abby asked me if I got my GoPro ready, so I chucked it into the waterproof case, got it up on the stand, and here's some highlights of the pictures I managed to take on timer and filtered out the rest, but these are some of the best ones. So as we wave goodbye to Bordeaux and some of the friends we've just made, we look to the next leg of our journey that takes us closer to the border with Spain, where we're going to spend a few days down in an amazing little campsite in the middle of the woods, which we thought no better place with a pool than to keep the kids cool during this current heat wave that we was going through. So Camping La Clairière is tucked into the woods, giving us an amazing amount of shelter and protection from the heat of the sun. As you can see there on our setup video, quick, easy way to set the canopy up right under the trees. Okay, the internet didn't work, the Starlink didn't work because of it, but the site had amazing free Wi-Fi as well, so that didn't matter. On day 2, the kids have been asking for us to go and have a beach day, so we took a meander for a 5-minute drive down to the nearest town, and found this lovely little seaside resort that was absolutely packed with not only the French, we heard Spanish, we heard Italian, we heard German and other Brits talking on the beach. So it's obviously very popular with a lot of the locals and not locals alike. The sea was amazing. It was so warm. It was like a bath. And the sand was almost like kinetic sand. It was so crunchy underfoot. So we had a great time in there. And then went through the town, little souvenir shops, little sandwich bars, boutiques, just what you'd expect in any seaside town back home. And what day at the beach isn't complete without ice cream? So as you would have seen on the other video, with the imminent England match coming up, jumped onto their Wi-Fi and a cheeky bit of VPN magicry, and we're watching the England match on the projector. So the family that's on the pitch next to us were from the Alps in France. The dad didn't have much English and I don't have much French, so we was chatting away the best we could. And our children were playing. They neither of us spoke each other's language, but they had an amazing time making friends and meeting people. And then on the last night, we had a entertainment night in the bar. Good music, and then as you can see, the kids had a whale of a time dancing as well. Having already crashed down most of the awning, etc., the night before and packing it up ready, we had a relatively early start and pushed on down through the border into Spain. Interesting drive. Started hitting quite a few toll bridges and toll motorways, so asked Google to avoid the tolls. It took us an interesting route. It was terrifying as we was going over the very mountainous regions in the north of Spain with sheer drops down the side, 7%, 8%, 9% climb uphill, and some of it on hairpin bends that you can't see either way. So I don't know how we got there. Abby had her eyes closed for most of it, and so did I if I had a choice in it. It was terrifying. Once we got to the campsite in Spain, we did a quick setup. We was only there for one night, and then went down to the restaurant, had a pint, and grabbed some takeaway pizza, ready to watch the football. Late checkout in the morning was bliss. We didn't need to be out of the site till 2 o'clock, so we took full advantage of getting an hour in the pool in the morning. Which was a cold pool to dive into, but it definitely woke us all up to start with. Having upgraded my drone before we came away, I've sat through the European drone license and to get my operator's ID and signed on all the French paperwork to start with, which will cover me through the whole of the EU now. So I sent the drone up, having checked the local mapping. To make sure it's safe to do so, just to get some of the amazing views of the campsite that we were staying at. And so when it was all hooked up, it was ready to go, it was off to Portugal. As you can see through this video, it shows what some of the narrow streets are like, and trying to tow a caravan while sitting on the opposite side of the car that everyone else would be sat on over here is terrifying. So I'm having to use Abby a lot to be able to see if it's clear to pass round objects I can't see myself. As we got through from Spain into Portugal, though, the views and the scenery was absolutely stunning. The video can't do it justice. No matter how many, no matter recording it in 4K, it just won't do it justice. It just popped out of the sky. It was amazing. And this is just coming into the little village that I mentioned on my other video about this little free park up we found. Absolutely brilliant. Really friendly people, amazing food, absolutely fantastic. Would recommend this town to anyone, 100%. And then after a peaceful night's sleep, we got up into this bustling town, had a walk through, had a coffee, and then hitched up Carly and left.
So there we go, that is our end of trip for France. We do kind of dip back into it slightly just so we head towards Italy, but my goodness, the northern part of Spain was just stunning. Some of that definitely would go back to in a heartbeat and go and explore more of that region, because it was just absolutely breathtaking, and just the scenery is so different compared to what we're used to on the east coast. So definitely somewhere I would go back to. As you can see that we've just dipped into Portugal, so if anybody's got any recommendations on what to do in Portugal, ignore the noisy parakeets, but we've never done it, always wanted to do it. So any recommendations, any do's or don'ts, must-sees, any hacks of kids, just hook us up, because we are so excited for Portugal. Like we just said, it's somewhere that we've always wanted to go to. We know that we don't speak any of the language either. I think that's the one country on our list that we don't really, apart from Ola. It's a very big combination of a lot of different languages kind of merged together. So yeah, we'll see how we get on, and any recommendations, please drop them in the comments below, because we love to know where people have been, their recommendations, because we're better to recommend somewhere people have been before. So yeah, and then keep following along for our journey. Give us a big like, follow that button. We're just doing the most craziest thing. We are just touring around Europe in our 26-year-old caravan with 2 kids and a dog in tow, just living our best life. We've had some ups and downs already, obviously, like Gav's just explained about his wallet, so I'm sure there's going to be some more ups and downs, so make sure you're sticking around for the journey, because it's crazy, it's hot, but it's really one big adventure.